Kyle, congratulations, man, on graduating your NLP Practitioner Training at NLP Freedom Academy. How are you?
Good. I'm awesome.
Yeah, so tell us about it. So why are you good and awesome? So what was it like for you attending this training?
Yeah, gosh, so much to pack into this, but just a snippet came in, 7 days ago. Not really sure what to expect with this. A big commitment, time commitment to get off work, financial commitment, obviously, without knowing exactly what to expect from something. I'm just kind of blown away by the depth of what this actually offers in terms of things that are much more deeper than any sort of kind of topical issues that I had, and some things I didn't even know that I had. So limiting beliefs, things like that, not to go into the jargon, but things I just didn't know that were back in the past were actually affecting how I am in the present, and ultimately affecting how I was going to be in the future with any sort of success that I was going to have. So just really a tremendous impactful training. And I don't even like using the word training. It was something that was much deeper, much more profound in terms of something that changed me in a way that I felt needed to be changed, but I was struggling to find kind of the right conduit or resources to do that. So that's really why I'm good. Met a lot of really good people here that were sharing a lot of the same barriers I was coming up against with wanting to get to different levels of success, career-wise, relationship-wise, and really just on a personal level. So profoundly deep, mystical in a sense of things that were going on in my brain and in my entire body that I had zero idea that were affecting all these things. So that's why I'm good, because things from back then to now just kind of cleared out and brought me to a very nice centered place where I actually am very congruent with who I am, what I want, how I'm going to be able to go and get that. So that would be in the most long-winded way to say I'm very, very good.
Well, you said that you're very, very good in a really excellent way. And you sound congruent. I mean, like who you are today. I mean, you're an awesome guy. It's so awesome having you here. And who you are today, man, like who you show up as today is completely, you're a different version of yourself than the day you got here. And so it's been such a blast having you here in the training. You've added so much to the space. Like what, if there was one thing that you were going to share with people about just was the most impactful for you in this training that you think would add the most value to other people's lives, what would that be?
Parts integration, absolute parts integration for me. I didn't really understand that there's a whole self, a part that when you're, I'm not even going to say you're, when I'm my most congruent, when I feel the most confident, when I feel the most centered, and if you're watching this, you probably understand what I'm saying, but when you go, this is me, this is who I really am. If it's a beautiful night up, if it's a sunset, and you go, this is me, things are clear, and then that dissolves. You get back in the real world, right? And parts integration took this part of me that I really wanted to always be, this whole part, and identify this other part that was limiting me to actually be consistent with that. And it was getting in the way of things that I wanted to go after. There were some fears for me, there were some limiting beliefs for me, and identifying that part and actually going through the exercise that was very trippy to be able to have, and not to give anything away, but these two parts come back without me knowing it, physically moving through the tools that were learned in here and given to me from both you, Scott, and other participants in here that just learned it and allowed this integration to come back in a way that's very hard to explain to you over video, because it was such a deep-rooted spiritual type of thing, but a very real thing, something that aligned it back and pulled together an energy that released my excuses for why I thought I had to keep running the same scripts, and brought that part that was very limiting, and it really melded it, merged it back with the actual person, that higher self, the person that I know that I could be, but for some reason I acted out of congruence with that all the time. So for me, parts integration was absolutely hands down the most radically shifting in terms of like my worldview, and gave me a really cool like center and peace with what I ultimately want to do, and I'm going to be leaving as I go here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, your integration was phenomenal, man. It certainly was wonderful. And I mean, it's so, we all tend to have conflicts inside, some turmoil inside, right? That can limit us from really, we may not even know it in all cases, right? We're just like, know that something's wrong, but we don't know that something that's wrong is wrong. We just, you know what I mean? And like that technique is so powerful for helping us to find out what's limiting us, what's holding us back, what's incongruent within us, and then making that integration whole and really helping us to just kind of launch forward, totally congruent and like in alignment with who we are. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh. hands down, nothing else that I've done, and I've done some work on myself with different, different kind of avenues, and things didn't really ever give you that actual thing. Like they started to kind of tweak in there, and so you're like, oh, I know something's there, but nothing like parts integration that actually cleared everything out, made things very clear in terms of what you want, got away the things that were blocking you in the first place to be able to step forward. So in terms of resetting and understanding why these patterns were running, and to get consistent and really clearly know why I'm going after the things I'm going after, instead of going, should I? But what about this?
What is
and
this?
Maybe that. Well, I should do this. My family thinks that. These people, and things that are even back in my past that I didn't even know were things from 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, that you wouldn't think can get pulled back out from certain techniques that are learned here, and questions that are asked that elicit things from your unconscious that you go, oh, hi,
whoa,
what are you doing? So that was really cool. So that was a radical transformation, because how do you fix something that you don't know is broken, and how do you actually know something's broken without being able to put language to it? And then there's obviously different layers, like to go in to get that, to sweep that away before you can even step forward, before you can even go after the goals. And it's frustrating to have goals and to fail to reach what you know you can reach and not know why you're not reaching it.
Boom.
So, yeah.
Boom. That's it.
Boom. That's a Shelby. Boom.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, you've been in the corporate world for a long time. You've been in leadership. You've been in sales. You've been quite successful in your corporate career over quite a long period of time. Do you think this training adds value to people coming from the corporate world, from leadership, from sales, from anything? Even, we got a training that causes deep transformation here. Yeah. And like you said, it's not really a training. It's something deeper than that. Yet, is it applicable to people who want to be successful in business, in sales, in relationships, in health? Like, is this training, does it support all of those areas?
Yeah, absolutely it does. It's probably the first thing that I've seen that covers the spectrum. It really does. You can do leadership training, you can do personal development training. One's focused on one segment of your life, the other one's focused on another segment of your life, and a lot of times those values don't overlay. There's different expectations, different wants and desires. Yeah. When it comes to something that you're actually using language and you're hearing other people's language, and so it's really the maps of their world. So something that can actually put into a tangible, subjective context for yourself, for me, to hear somebody else's language and be able to understand how they're processing what I'm telling them, or an experience, and then be able to extract that quickly, understand how to put that back into a way where they can understand what I am trying to get across. Because I'm sure that people, maybe I'm the only one, but I would keep explaining something or trying to get something across in just a more forceful way, or you understand? How does that feel for you? But they are very different. Maybe they're visual, or maybe they're auditory, not kinesthetic, and I'm very kinesthetic. So I talk and does this feel right? But if I'm not speaking the same language, they legitimately, when I used to be like, are you stupid? Do you not understand what I'm saying? But they understand the words, but like we learned in here, words are a very small percentage of people being able to comprehend what you're really saying. And it's more the tonality and the physiology of how we deliver something, but then also what we're delivering in the words that are providing the pictures for them to really understand it, bring it in and make decisions. So that's an unbelievably powerful thing, regardless if it's leadership, if it's raising a family, if it's in a relationship, if it's with friends, because everyone has unconsciously their own maps that they really don't even know that that's how they comprehend, and that's how they react well. So if you're selling, like for me, or if you're doing consulting, how can you understand a problem if you don't understand their language, right? And the deeper root behind the language. How do you then propose something in the solution if you can't bridge that gap? And that's what this provided, which is huge across all areas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, man, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for that amazing feedback and for sharing your experience of being here for the past 7 days. It's been amazing having you here. We are super excited to see what you're going to do. I know what you're up to. I know where you're headed. I know your goals now. We got all that crystal clear, and I'm so excited to watch you to go for it and to create that success next level, and I'd say next several levels higher than where you already are.
Yeah, awesome. And thank you. Amazing. If you guys are thinking about coming, I get it. It's commitment, it's time, it's money. We all have the same thing when we have to leap into this. Feel free, you can call me. A lot of other people I know are willing to have the conversation, because it's a big commitment, but if you're willing to do something that's really actually investing in yourself instead of a car, vacation, all these other things that are very tangible, short-lived, something that's actually going to be able to benefit you, other people that you actually love, benefit your career. Really, really substantial. A fantastic investment that I would highly recommend that you do. Feel free to give me a ring if you want to pick my brain some more on how enlightening this is. So.
All right, congratulations, Kyle. Thank you,
Cool.
brother.
Yeah.